There used to be a coffee shop in the town where I grew up. I say coffee shop, but this wasn't a Starbucks or a Costa Coffee or a Cafe Nero. In fact, if memory serves me correctly, they didn't actually serve coffee there at all. They roasted it and they ground it to order. But it was down to the customer to take it home, add water, and then turn that precious bean dust into an actual beverage. That coffee shop was a fixture of Sutton High Street. It was a few doors away from the 123 cinema, just up the hill from Shinner's department store. Step off the 213 bus, and the aroma of coffee hit you like a shovel to the nostrils. That coffee shop is an estate agent's now. The 123 cinema was demolished last year. Shinner's became Alders, and then Alders closed, along with British Home Stores, Woolworths, and the EMI record store where I used to buy my music when it came in circular plastic form. All those familiar names, all those familiar places gone. Makes me misty eyed just thinking about it. Just as those high street names slipped quietly into history, so too have some of the giants of our industry. Here in the field of demolition and construction, we also long for those that were, but that which are no longer. Who would have imagined a UK construction sector without Carillion and ISG? Who could have envisaged a demolition industry devoid of Comleys, Controlled, Lee, Masterton, Redhead, Rye, and Squibbs? All of them were fixtures, an integral part of the industry landscape, and now they're gone. But nowhere is the here today, gone tomorrow more evident than in the sphere of demolition and construction equipment. Brands that were once household names, now a footnote in the industry's history. Ackerman, Atlas, Aveling Barford, Broit, Clark, Drott, Euclid, Fiat Alice, Hannix, Hymac, International Harvester, Krupp, Melro, O&K, Peljob, Priestman, Ruston Bucyrus, and Zettelmeyer. Names that were part of the industry's vocabulary, but which have now faded from view. Some were absorbed into larger organisations, some were rebranded. Sadly, too many of them sank into the murky depths of the industry dead pool. There would have been a time in the 1980s when the very notion of a construction equipment industry without the names Hymac and Priestman would have been unthinkable. And yet, for many in the industry today, the mention of those once revered names will trigger a look not of familiarity, but bewilderment. For others, they'll just be something their dad used to talk about. Of course, nothing ever lasts forever, as Echo and the Bunnymen once sang. The mighty Caterpillar is in the midst of its centennial birthday celebrations. Given their size, their reach, wealth, and engineering prowess, I'd like to think they'll be around for another 100 years, maybe more. But as evidenced by the demise of Euclid, Ruston Bucyrus, and Zettelmeyer, nothing in this life, nothing in this industry is guaranteed. And there is perhaps a greater threat to a manufacturer's longevity these days. In the past, a manufacturer could launch a backhoe loader and leave the design unchanged for a decade. Rivals caught up slowly, and the playing field was relatively level. It's very different these days. Today, technology, sustainability demands, and safety regulations push manufacturers into constant reinvention. Some are already working on second generation machines even before the first even reaches customers. As a result, a manufacturer stealing a march with the adoption of electric, hydrogen, or AI might only hold that perceived advantage for a few months. Conversely, those manufacturers that don't seize upon those market fluctuations can go from pioneer today to laggard tomorrow. And in the fast paced world of demolition and construction equipment, we all know what happens to laggards. It's been a long time since I last rode a 213 bus. If I did so tomorrow, I'd step off just waiting for that caffeine heavy aroma to awaken my nostrils. I still think of Woolworths and their pick and mix sweets, and I can still recall that sense of excitement and anticipation of taking my pocket money into the EMI record shop. I still attend construction equipment exhibitions, hoping and half expecting to see a Hymac excavator, an O&K shovel, or a Euclid truck. But like that old coffee shop, they're all gone. New startups with hydrogen this and electric that may fill the exhibition halls. They're like music downloads. They're music, but they don't quite scratch the same itch. But in our hearts, the space once occupied by Hymak, Priestman, O&K, and Euclid remains stubbornly and achingly empty.